What do you think? Is the case growing for the ECB to go 50?
It is growing, and I think it's, there's quite a strong case that the European economy is in a very, very tough situation at the moment. I think this CPI print is so marginal that it's not really the game changer here. I think, this isn't going to change the minds of people who weren't convinced already. But for those in the more dovish side of the spectrum, I think the argument's been building for some time. Absolutely, though, in focus at the moment in France is around this budget, and I think that remains a very concerning situation. And over the coming month, it's likely to get worse before it gets better. That's not a view on today's trading or even next week's trading. It's just that I don't think we've seen the extreme stress of this situation yet.
Speaking to some ECB officials, they say that going by 50 would signal panic, and that is not what they want to do. But, if they did go by 50, and then we're talking about, the BOJ hiking as well, we've had that beat on Tokyo CPI today. How much euro-yen weakness could we see if you juxtapose the two?
Lots. Look, I'm structurally quite negative on the euro. I think it's the currency that will see the outlet for a lot of the stress that we're seeing in Europe at the moment. European equities are already quite discounted. I'm not saying you want to be bullish them, but it's hard to be particularly negative. But the region's got growth problems, and I think that the bond situation in France is an extreme example of the stress we're going to see around a region that is struggling to get its fiscal situation in order. It doesn't have fiscal unity. It doesn't have the integration across the region that is needed for this tough situation, and it's about to get harder for it with some of the policies proposed under Trump. So I think euro is going to be the outlet for that stress over the year ahead, and I think on a short-term basis, maybe a different time span, I think the BOJ is moving towards a hike in December, so the yen's got more to rally. Yeah. So I think euro-yen is more downside in the short term. Probably after the BOJ in December, maybe the yen leg is a bit different, a bit separate, and you focus on euro against something else.
Mark, what has the biggest ripple effect when it comes to global bond markets or global currency markets? Is it a potential freak out in the French space and the OAT space, or is it more BOJ hikes and the weakness in the yen? What has the biggest global ripple effect?
If we have a freak out in France, it's definitely France. Again, I don't want to say that my base case call is another Eurozone bond crisis. I don't think we're in the same situation. There's different tools in place. That's not my best case. But I think that there's a non-negligible chance that the France situation gets extremely stressful. And Lizzy mentioned the point about the ECB doesn't want to signal panic. The history of the ECB over the last 20 years, and I'm not sure they've changed, is that they basically don't solve situations until they're suddenly forced to solve them. They appear to go over the edge, they appear to go too late, and then they panic. And I fear that might be the game plan here in France as well, that it's going to get much worse before it gets better and they resolve it.